The clock on the laboratory wall showed 11:47 p.m. when Dr. Alex Rivera heard the first strange noise. He had been working late again, analyzing soil samples from the Mars rover mission, when something crashed behind the storage cabinets near the back wall of his lab. Alex froze. The university building was supposed to be empty at this hour. Security made their rounds at 11, and he was always the last person left in the science wing. He listened carefully, but heard only the familiar hum of the air conditioning and the gentle bubbling of his equipment. Maybe it was just a book falling, he thought. The old building often settled at night, and shells sometimes shifted. But then he heard it again, a soft scratching sound, like something moving carefully across the floor. Alex stood up from his desk and walked slowly toward the back of the lab. His footsteps echoed in the quiet room. The fluorescent lights above cast long shadows between the equipment tables and filing cabinets. Everything looked normal. But something felt different when he reached the storage area. Alex peered behind the tall metal cabinet where he kept his research materials. What he saw made him stumble backward in shock. A creature unlike anything he had ever seen was huddled in the corner. It was about the size of a person, but clearly not human. Its skin was a deep purple color, with patches of what looked like natural armor plating. Multiple eyes blinked at him from different parts of its head, and strange ridges ran along its arms and shoulders. Alex's first instinct was to run. His heart pounded as he stared at the impossible sight before him. But something stopped him from bolting for the door. The creature wasn't moving toward him or making threatening gestures. Instead, it seemed to be trying to make itself smaller, pressing back against the wall like it was afraid. One of its arms was clearly injured, with a dark fluid seeping from what appeared to be a deep cut. The creature was breathing heavily, and Alex could see that it was in pain. Despite its frightening appearance, there was something almost human about the way it held its wounded arm. In the expression of fear in its many eyes, Alex took a careful step closer. The creature flinched but didn't try to attack or escape. Up close, he could see more details. The armor-like patches on its skin had intricate patterns, almost like natural artwork. Its multiple eyes weren't randomly placed but seemed to follow a symmetrical design. Across its face, Are you hurt?" Alex asked quietly, feeling foolish for talking to what might be some kind of advanced animal. To his amazement, the creature responded. It made a series of sounds that weren't quite words but had the rhythm and tone of language. Then it pointed to its injured arm and made what sounded like a pained whimper. Alex's scientific mind began to override his fear. This wasn't just some unknown animal. This was clearly an intelligent being trying to communicate with him. But what was it, and how had it ended up in his laboratory? He noticed something metallic partially hidden behind the creature. Looking more carefully, Alex saw what appeared to be some kind of device, about the size of a smartphone, but with a completely alien design. Strange symbols glowed faintly on its surface. The creature noticed him looking at the device and reached for it with its uninjured arm. It touched the surface, and suddenly Alex could hear something that sounded almost like words, though heavily distorted and mixed with electronic noise. "Help, need, safe," came through the device in a voice that was neither clearly male nor female, but somehow conveyed desperation. Alex stared in disbelief. "You're trying to talk to me through that thing." The creature nodded, an unmistakably human gesture that somehow looked natural. Coming from this alien being, it touched the device again, and more fragmented words emerged. "Ship broken." Hiding the frayed, understanding began to dawn on Alex. This wasn't some undiscovered Earth creature. This being had come from somewhere else entirely, and it was stranded here. The realization should have terrified him, but instead, he felt a strange sense of excitement mixed with deep compassion. "You crashed here, didn't you?" Alex asked. "Your ship was damaged, and you're hiding because you don't know who to trust." The creature's multiple eyes seemed to brighten, and it nodded vigorously. Through the device, more words came through. "Cannot, go home, hurt, lost." Alex looked at the injured arm again. The bleeding hadn't stopped, and he could see that the creature was getting weaker. Whatever differences existed between them, this being was clearly in need of medical attention. Look, I don't know what you are or where you came from, Alex said gently. But I can see that you're hurt. I'm a scientist. I study living things. Maybe I can help you. The creature studied him for a long moment. Alex could sense it was trying to decide whether to trust him. Finally, it struggled to stand up, wincing as it moved its injured arm. It was taller than Alex had expected, nearly 6 feet, but its posture was non-threatening. Through the translation device, it managed to communicate, name, Kira, from far place. Need a friend? Alex felt a strange warmth at hearing the creature, Kira, refer to needing a friend. Despite everything that made them different, they were both alone in this laboratory in the middle of the night, and both seemed to understand loneliness. I'm Alex, he replied, and I think we need to take care of that wound before anything else, as he helped Kira move toward his workstation where he kept the first aid kit. Alex realized his life had just changed in ways he couldn't even begin to imagine. But looking at this strange, frightened being who had somehow found refuge in his laboratory, he felt certain he was making the right choice by helping. The night was far from over, and Alex had no idea what morning would bring. But for now, he had someone who needed his help, and that seemed like the most important thing in any world. 3 days had passed since Alex first found Kira hiding in his laboratory. The wounded alien was healing faster than any human would, but she still needed rest and care. Alex had managed to create a small living space for her behind the storage area, using lab equipment and supplies to make it comfortable. During these 3 days, something amazing had happened. Kira's translation device was getting better at converting her language into English. What started as broken words and fragments was becoming real conversation. Alex discovered that Kira was incredibly smart, maybe even smarter than most humans. He knew, "Your world is very green," Kira said one morning as she looked out the small window of the lab. Her voice through the translator was becoming clearer each day. "My planet has 3 suns, so everything is always bright and hot." Alex was fascinated. 3 suns? That must be incredible to see. Kira's multiple eyes seemed to dim a little. It was beautiful, but now it is dying. The suns are getting too hot, and our plants cannot grow anymore. Our people are getting sick from the heat and the bad air. This was the first time Kira had talked about why she was really here on Earth. Alex sat down across from her, wanting to understand more. "Is that why you left? To find help for your people?" Kira nodded sadly. "My father is the king of our world. He wanted me to marry a warrior from another planet, someone who could give us new land and resources. But this warrior is cruel and cares nothing for my people. He only wants power." Alex began to understand. Kira wasn't just any alien visitor. She was royalty. A princess who had run away from an arranged marriage to save her people from a terrible fate. "So you escaped?" Alex asked. "I tried to find another way," Kira explained. "I thought if I could travel to other worlds and find friendly people who might help us, maybe I could make a better deal. But my ship was damaged by space rocks, and I crash-landed here." Alex looked at Kira with new respect. She wasn't just hiding from her problems. She was trying to solve them. She had risked everything to find a better solution for her dying world. "What's your planet called?" Alex asked. "Zephyria," Kira replied. "It means place of gentle winds in our old language. But there are no gentle winds anymore. Only hot storms that burn everything." Over the next few hours, Kira told Alex more about her world and her people. She explained that her species, called the Zerati, were very different from humans in many ways. They could sense each other's emotions, which made them naturally kind and caring. They value wisdom and are more than fighting or conquering. "In my world, I am considered quite beautiful," Kira said with what Alex thought might be a smile. "Our people admire the patterns on our skin, and the way our eyes can see many different types of light." Alex realized how wrong his first impression had been. What he had thought was frightening or ugly was actually considered attractive by Kira's standards. It made him think about how people on Earth judged others by their appearance, without really knowing them. "I think you're beautiful, too," Alex said honestly. "I mean, once I got past being scared. I could see how unique and special you are. Kira's eyes brightened at this. You are very kind, Alex. Most humans would probably be afraid of me forever. Maybe some would, Alex admitted. But not all of us. Humans can learn to see past appearances when we get to know someone. As the days went on, Alex found himself looking forward to his conversations with Kira. She was curious about everything on Earth, how humans lived, what they ate, how they communicated. In return, she told him about the advanced technology of her people and their deep connection to nature. We don't just live on our planet, Kira explained. We are part of it. We can feel when the plants are happy or sad, when the animals are healthy or sick. That's how we knew our world was dying. We could feel its pain. This emotional connection to their environment made the Zerati natural scientists and healers. Kira showed Alex how her injured arm had healed so quickly by using mental techniques to encourage her body's natural repair systems. Your people could learn this too, Kira said. Humans have the same ability, but you've forgotten how to use it. Alex was amazed by everything Kira taught him, but he was also growing worried. Each day that passed made it more likely that someone would discover them, and Kira was becoming more dependent on him for everything: food, protection, companionship. What will you do when you're completely healed? Alex asked one evening. Kira was quiet for a long time before answering. I don't know. I cannot go home without a solution to my people's problems. But I cannot stay here forever either. Soon, your government will find me. Alex could see the fear and uncertainty in her eyes. She was far from home, with no way to return and no clear path forward. Despite all her intelligence and special abilities, she was lost and alone. Maybe we can figure something out together, Alex offered. You're not alone anymore, Kira. We're friends now, and friends help each other. For the first time since he'd met her, Kira looked truly hopeful. Friends, she repeated through the translator. I like this word very much. As Alex prepared to leave the lab that night, he realized that helping Kira had changed him too. He was no longer just a scientist studying samples in a lonely laboratory. He was someone who had made a connection across the vast distances of space, someone who had found friendship in the most unexpected place. But deep down, Alex knew that their peaceful time together couldn't last much longer. Soon, they would have to face bigger challenges and make difficult decisions about the future. 2 weeks had passed since Kira's arrival, and Alex's entire life had changed. He was spending every free moment at the laboratory, bringing her food, books, and anything else she might need. His friends had started asking why he was always busy, and his research work was falling behind, but Alex didn't mind. Every day with Kira brought new discoveries and deeper conversations. She was learning English quickly now and barely needed the translator device anymore. Her voice was soft and musical, with an accent that reminded Alex of wind chimes. Alex, I've been thinking about something important, Kira said one morning as he arrived with breakfast for her. My people have a tradition about friendship and loyalty. Alex sat down next to her makeshift bed, curious about what she wanted to share. When someone saves our life and cares for us like you have done for me, Kira continued, we form a special bond called heart-linking. It means we become connected for life, like family but deeper. Alex felt both honored and a little nervous about this idea. What does that mean exactly? Kira's eyes sparkled as she explained. It means I will always be loyal to you, and you will always have a place in my heart. In my culture, this is one of the most precious gifts we can give to someone. As the days went on, Alex noticed that Kira seemed to need his presence more and more. She would become anxious when he left for too long, and she always looked relieved when he returned. What had started as gratitude was becoming something deeper and more intense. I had the strangest dream last night, Kira told him one evening. I dreamed that you came with me to my planet, and we worked together to help my people find a new home. Alex laughed gently. That would be quite an adventure. But I don't think I'd survive on a planet with 3 suns. You could, Kira said. Seriously, our technology could protect you. and my people would welcome you as a hero for helping me. Alex noticed that Kira's suggestions about him coming to her world were becoming more frequent. She would describe how amazing it would be to show him her home, how grateful her people would be, how much they could accomplish together. Meanwhile, Alex was dealing with problems of his own. Strange energy readings had been detected in the area around the university. Government scientists were asking questions about unusual electromagnetic signatures, and security had been increased around the science building. "We might have a problem," Alex told Kira one day. "People are starting to notice strange energy patterns. I think it might be from your ship's crash or your technology." Kira looked worried. "I was afraid this might happen. My people's technology leaves traces that your scientists might eventually detect." Alex had been losing sleep thinking about what would happen if Kira was discovered. He couldn't imagine government agents taking her away to some secret facility for testing. The thought made him sick with worry. "Maybe we should think about moving you somewhere safer," Alex suggested. But Kira shook her head firmly. "Where could we go that would be safe? I have no identification, no way to blend in with humans. And besides," she added softly, "I don't want to be anywhere you're not." This comment made Alex realize how dependent Kira had become on him. She had started calling him her guardian and protector, and she seemed to panic whenever he mentioned being away for more than a few hours. "Kira, I'm worried that you're becoming too reliant on me," Alex said carefully. "You're incredibly intelligent and capable. You don't need me to take care of you all the time." Kira's eyes filled with what looked like tears. "But you're the only person in this entire world who cares about me. Without you, I'm completely alone." Alex felt his heart break a little at her words. He understood her fear and loneliness, but he was also starting to feel overwhelmed by the responsibility of being her only source of support and companionship. One morning, Kira made a suggestion that surprised Alex completely. "I've been learning about human relationships," she said, "and I think I understand now why I feel so connected to you on my planet. When two people share the kind of bond we have, they become life partners." Alex nearly choked on his coffee. "Life partners, Kira? What exactly are you saying?" "I'm saying that I think we should consider becoming more than friends," Kira explained earnestly. "In my culture, when someone saves your life and shares your deepest thoughts, it often leads to a partnership that lasts forever." Alex didn't know how to respond. He cared deeply about Kira, but the idea of a romantic relationship with someone from another planet seemed impossible and overwhelming. "Kira, I need time to think about this," Alex said gently. But Kira's request for a deeper commitment didn't stop there. Over the following days, she brought up the subject constantly. She talked about how perfect they were for each other, how they could build a life together, how Alex could help her save her people as her chosen partner. "Every day I stay here without a life partner, my people assume I am dead," Kira explained. "If I return home with a chosen mate, especially one who helped me find a solution to our planet's problems, I will be honored instead of punished for running away." Alex began to understand that for Kira, this wasn't just about romantic feelings. Her entire future and the future of her people might depend on finding a life partner who could help her return home with dignity. But the pressure was becoming too much for Alex. He found himself avoiding the laboratory some days, which only made Kira more anxious and desperate. When he did visit, she would beg him not to leave and plead with him to consider her proposal. "Please, Alex," she would say every day, "you're my only hope. Without you, I have nothing and no one. Just think about what we could accomplish together." Alex realized that what had started as a rescue mission had become something much more complicated. Kira wasn't just asking for his friendship or his help, she was asking for his entire life. And while he cared about her deeply, he wasn't sure he was ready for that kind of commitment. As he lay awake at night, Alex wondered if he was being selfish for hesitating, or if Kira was being unfair by asking so much of him. Either way, he knew that things couldn't continue as they were much longer. Soon, he would have to make a decision that would change everything for both of them. The morning everything changed started like any other. Alex arrived at the laboratory with Kira's breakfast, but something felt different in the air. The usual quiet of the early morning was broken by the sound of vehicles outside and voices. In the hallway, "Alex, something's wrong," Kira whispered from her hiding spot behind the storage cabinets. "I can sense people with bad intentions getting closer." Before Alex could respond, he heard footsteps in the corridor outside his lab. Multiple sets of heavy boots were approaching, along with the crackle of radio communications. His heart sank as he realized what was happening. "Government agents," he whispered to Kira. "They found us." Through the small window in his lab door, Alex could see men in dark suits examining some kind of scanning equipment. The readings must have led them directly to his laboratory. There was nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. "Dr. Rivera," a firm voice called from outside. "This is Agent Collins with the Department of Extraterrestrial Affairs. We need to speak with you immediately." Alex looked at Kira, who was trembling behind the cabinet. Her multiple eyes were wide with fear, and he could see that she was preparing for the worst. In that moment, something clicked in Alex's mind. He couldn't let them take her away to some secret government facility. "Stay calm," he whispered to Kira. "Let me handle this." Alex opened the door to face 3 agents in black suits, each carrying scanning devices and what looked like specialized weapons. The lead agent, a stern woman with short gray hair, stepped forward. "Dr. Rivera, our equipment has detected massive energy signatures coming from your laboratory. We have reason to believe you're harboring an extraterrestrial entity." "I don't know what you're talking about," Alex said, trying to keep his voice steady. Agent Collins smiled coldly. "Doctor, we've been tracking unusual electromagnetic patterns for weeks. They all lead back to this room. Now, we can do this the easy way or the hard way." Before Alex could respond, there was a sudden flash of light from behind him. Kira had stepped out from her hiding place, and her skin was glowing with a soft purple radiance. The agents immediately raised their weapons, but something amazing happened. "Do not harm my chosen guardian," Kira said in perfect English, her voice carrying an authority that made everyone in the room freeze. "I am Princess Kira of the planet Zephyria, and I am here under diplomatic circumstances." The agents stared in shock at the alien being standing before them, but instead of attacking, Kira did something unexpected. She raised her hands peacefully and began to speak in a calm, diplomatic tone. "I understand your concern about my presence on your world," she said, "but I am not here as an invader. I am here seeking alliance and friendship between our peoples." Agent Collins lowered her weapon slightly, clearly unsure how to handle a talking alien who claimed to be royalty. "You're saying you're some kind of diplomat?" the agent asked. "I am a princess seeking to prevent a war that could destroy both our worlds," Kira replied. "The warrior my father wants me to marry is planning to conquer other planets, including Earth. I came here to find a peaceful solution." Alex watched in amazement as Kira transformed from a frightened refugee into a confident leader. Her posture was straight and regal, and her voice carried the weight of someone used to being obeyed. "My people possess technology that could benefit Earth greatly," Kira continued. "We have solutions to energy problems, medical advances, and environmental healing techniques. But I will only share these gifts with people who treat me with respect and dignity." The agents exchanged uncertain glances. This wasn't the scenario they had prepared for. "And what role does Dr. Rivera play in all this?" Agent Collins asked. Kira looked at Alex with an expression of deep affection and respect. "Dr. Rivera saved my life and protected me when I was injured and alone, according to the customs of my people. This makes him my chosen life partner and diplomatic representative." Alex's eyes widened. Kira was making her formal proposal right here, in front of government agents. "As a way to protect both of them, your life partner," Agent Collins repeated, clearly confused. "Yes," Kira said firmly, "in my culture, when someone saves your life and shares your deepest trust, they become eligible to be your mate for life. Dr. Rivera has earned this honor, and I am formally asking him to accept." Alex realized what Kira was doing. By claiming him as her diplomatic partner, she was giving him protected status that the government couldn't easily ignore. But she was also putting him in an impossible position. as my chosen mate and Earth's first interplanetary ambassador. Kira continued, Dr. Rivera would have diplomatic immunity. Any harm done to him would be considered an act of war against my people. The room fell silent as everyone processed what Kira had just said. The agents were clearly out of their depth, dealing with concepts they had never encountered before. Alex, Kira said softly, turning to face him directly. I know this isn't how you imagine this moment, but I need your answer now. Will you accept my proposal and become my life partner? Will you help me save both our worlds? Alex looked into Kira's multiple eyes and saw not just desperation, but also genuine love and hope. She wasn't just asking him to save her from the government agents. She was asking him to help her prevent a war and build a bridge between two worlds, if I accept. Alex said slowly, what would that mean exactly? It would mean we work together as equals to establish peaceful relations between Earth and Zephyria, Kira explained. It would mean sharing knowledge and technology to help both our peoples. And it would mean spending our lives together, exploring the universe and making it a better place. Agent Collins stepped forward. Dr. Rivera, you need to think very carefully about this decision. You're talking about leaving Earth, possibly forever. But as Alex looked at Kira, he realized that his decision had been made long ago. From the moment he first helped her wounded arm, he had been choosing her over everything else. The fear, the uncertainty, the pressure from his old life, none of it mattered compared to the connection he felt with this brave, intelligent being who had traveled across the stars. Kira, Alex said, his voice growing stronger with each word, I accept your proposal. The glow around Kira's skin brightened, and Alex could see tears of joy in her eyes. The agent stood speechless as the two beings from different worlds embraced, sealing an alliance that would change everything. 6 months had passed since that dramatic day in Alex's laboratory, and the world had changed in ways no one could have imagined. The news of first contact with an alien civilization had shocked humanity, but Kira's diplomatic approach had prevented panic and chaos. Alex stood on the observation deck of the newly built International Space Relations Center, watching as construction crews put the finishing touches on Earth's first interplanetary communication facility. Through the large windows, he could see Kira working with a team of human and Zerati engineers, her multiple eyes examining holographic displays showing the progress of their joint projects. The past months had been a whirlwind of activity. After Alex accepted Kira's proposal, the government agents had no choice but to treat the situation as a diplomatic matter, rather than a security threat. Kira had used her translation device to contact her home planet, and within weeks, a small Zerati delegation had arrived on Earth. The meeting between humans and Zerati had gone better than anyone had dared hope. Kira's people were genuinely peaceful and eager to share their advanced knowledge with Earth. They had brought solutions to climate change, new medical technologies, and clean energy systems that could revolutionize human civilization. The water purification systems are working perfectly, Kira said as she joined Alex on the observation deck. Her English was flawless now, and she had learned to wear human-style clothing that accommodated her unique physiology. Your scientists are amazed by how efficiently they can clean even the most polluted water sources. Alex smiled as he watched human and alien engineers working side by side. Your people are incredible teachers. Dr. Chen told me yesterday that we've learned more about sustainable technology in 6 months than we had in the previous 50 years. Kira's eyes sparkled with pride, but Alex could also see a hint of sadness there. I received another message from my father today, she said quietly. Alex knew what this meant. King Virus of Zephyria had been growing impatient with his daughter's extended stay on Earth. The arranged marriage to the warrior prince had been postponed, but not cancelled, and political pressure was mounting for Kira to return home. What did he say this time? Alex asked gently. He wants me to return within the next 2 months. Kira replied, the heat storms on our planet are getting worse, and our people are suffering. He says I've had enough time to explore diplomatic options, and now I must fulfill my duty to marry for the survival of our species. Alex felt a familiar knot in his stomach. Despite all their success in building relations between Earth and Zephyria, they still hadn't solved Kira's original problem. Her planet was still dying, and her people still needed resources that only the warrior prince could provide. There has to be another way, Alex said firmly. We can't let you sacrifice your happiness for a political marriage, especially not to someone who wants to use your people for conquest. Kira took Alex's hand in hers, a gesture they had both grown comfortable with over the months. I've been thinking about that too, and I believe I've found a solution. But it would require a very big commitment from you. Alex turned to face her. Fully? What kind of commitment? The kind where we actually become life partners. Not just diplomatic ones, Kira said softly. The kind where you come with me to Zephyria as my chosen mate, and help me rule our people as co-leaders. Alex's heart began to race. They had talked about this possibility many times over the past months, but always as a distant maybe, not an immediate reality. If you came with me as my true partner, Kira continued, you would become a prince of Zephyria. My father would have to accept our union because you've already proven yourself as a successful diplomat and bridge builder between our species. Alex looked out at the construction site, where humans and Zerati were building humanity's future together. And what about Earth? What about all the work we've started here? We wouldn't abandon Earth, Kira assured him, as co-rulers of Zephyria. We could establish a permanent alliance between our worlds. We could set up regular exchanges of knowledge, technology, and resources. Earth could help my people find new homes on suitable planets. And my people could help Earth solve its environmental challenges. The idea was both thrilling and terrifying. Alex had grown to love Kira deeply over the past months, but he had also built a life on Earth, leaving everything behind to become an alien prince. Seemed like something out of a science fiction movie. I need you to know something, Alex said. Carefully, I'm not saying yes just because it's the right thing to do diplomatically. I'm considering this because I genuinely love you. Kira, you've become the most important person in my life. Kira's skin began to glow with the soft purple light that Alex had learned. Meant she was experiencing strong emotions. And you are the most important person in mine. When I first crashed on this planet, I thought my life was over. But you didn't just save my life, Alex. You gave me a new purpose and a new kind of happiness I never knew existed. Alex realized that his decision had been slowly forming over the past months. Every day working with Kira, every successful project they completed together, every moment of laughter and understanding they shared had been leading to this moment. When will we need to leave? Alex asked. The next Zerati transport ship arrives in 3 weeks, Kira replied. It's designed to carry both our species safely across interstellar distances. Alex nodded slowly. 3 weeks to say goodbye to Earth and prepare for the adventure of a lifetime. There's something else, Kira added with a mischievous glint in her eyes. My people have been so impressed with your work here that they've already started calling you the bridge builder. You're famous on my planet as the human who helped bring peace between our worlds. Alex laughed at the thought of being famous on an alien planet he'd never visited. I guess I'll have a lot to live up to when we get there. We'll face it together, Kira said firmly, just like we've faced everything else, as they stood together, watching the sun set over the construction site. Alex thought about how drastically his life had changed since that night. He first found Kira hiding in his laboratory. He had gone from being a lonely scientist to becoming Earth's first interplanetary ambassador and now, soon, a prince of an alien world. Kira, Alex said finally, I accept your proposal. All of it. I want to be your life partner. And I want to help you save your people. Kira's glow intensified, and she wrapped her arms around Alex in a way that had become natural for both of them. Together, we're going to build something amazing, she whispered. 3 weeks later, Alex stood in the boarding area of Earth's first interstellar passenger terminal, holding a single suitcase containing everything from his old life that he wanted to take with him. His parents, friends, and colleagues had all come to see him off, and while many were sad to see him go, they were also proud of what he was accomplishing. As he and Kira walked hand in hand toward the sleek Zerati transport ship, Alex felt no fear, only excitement for the future they would build together. Behind them lay a world changed forever by their friendship. Ahead lay adventures they couldn't even imagine, in a universe that suddenly seemed much less lonely and much more full of possibilities.